an immersive document for an important cause. We chose to present a crucial and urgent topic in a different way so that it captures your interest and can be widely shared. This immersive document was designed to be viewed with a virtual reality headset, but you can also watch it on your computer, tablet, or phone. It was produced in 360 degrees for a fully immersive experience. Created by a team of volunteer communicators and artists, we hope you enjoy this piece and take away its key messages. The goal is to raise awareness, inform, and then mobilise. It is estimated that nearly 1 million plastic bottles are purchased every minute worldwide. 1 million plastic bottles would weigh approximately 50 metric tons, which is roughly the weight of about 10 adult elephants. Plastic pollution, specifically from water bottles, is considerable, not only because of the sheer volume, but also because they are among the most widespread single-use plastics and among the least properly managed at end of life. Plastic water bottles account for a significant share of single-use plastic pollution, which is the most polluting category. More than 500 billion plastic bottles are produced each year. Less than 10% are actually recycled. If no action is taken, it is estimated that there could be more plastic than fish in the oceans by 2050. The environmental impact of plastic bottles is considerable and begins long before they become waste. It is estimated that producing a 1 litre bottle requires 33 centilitres of oil and 3 litres of water. This manufacturing process, along with the transportation of bottles, often over long distances, generates significant greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to climate change. Once consumed, managing these bottles becomes a real challenge. Plastic bottles are in fact the most common waste found in rivers, contributing massively to ocean plastic pollution. Once in the oceans, these bottles take between 100 and 1,000 years to decompose, breaking down into microplastics and nanoplastics that never truly disappear. This pollution has devastating consequences for marine wildlife, which mistakes these fragments for food. The market is valued at several $100 billion. Forecasts indicate steady growth, with a compound annual growth rate of around 5 to 6% in the coming years. It is estimated that the market could exceed $500 billion by 2034. The quality and source of the water have very little impact on the price of bottled water. 90% of the cost comes from the packaging, which includes the plastic used to contain the water and the labelling and marketing created by the seller to promote it. The bottled water industry has been criticised for appropriating groundwater resources for private use, sometimes to the detriment of local communities. When we think of a profitable business, bottled water may not be the first thing that comes to mind. Yet the profit margins for bottled water companies are considerable, generally ranging from 100% to 200%. If you are familiar with bottled water brands, it is very common for companies sourcing water from the nearby municipal supply to claim that it actually comes from a natural spring. One of the tragic effects of plastic water bottles on the environment and our wildlife is that 100% of baby sea turtles have plastic in their stomachs. Plastic bottles are like a poison, seeping into our water, soil, and air, slowly eroding the health of our planet and threatening our very existence. Plastic bottles are like a monster that feeds on our throwaway culture, growing stronger and more dangerous with every container discarded. In the Pacific lies a plastic island the size of Texas, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Oil is the foundation of plastic water bottles. Once refined into polymers and formed into pellets, it becomes polyethylene terephthalate, PET. the plastic used almost universally in bottled water. In 2024, the world produced about 16 million tonnes of PET bottles, a scale that requires enormous quantities of oil. It is generally considered that producing 1 gram of plastic requires about 1 gram of oil. To put this into perspective, manufacturing a single 1.5 litre plastic bottle consumes the equivalent of about 100 millilitres of oil. 16 million tonnes of oil is equivalent to about 117 million barrels, using a conversion rate of roughly 7.33 barrels per tonne of crude oil. This amount corresponds to the cargo of about 35 very large crude carrier supertankers, each capable of transporting up to 440,000 tonnes of oil. An Olympic pool holds about 2.5 million litres. Imagine more than 7,440 of them, completely filled with crude oil. That's what 18.6 billion litres represents. Studies have revealed the presence of microplastics and nanoplastics in bottled water, endocrine disruptors that may affect fertility and increase the risk of certain cancers. 93% of bottles tested positive for plastic particles in their crystal clear water. As a result, an average person may ingest around 50,000 to 120,000 microplastic particles per year, and heavy consumers of bottled water may far exceed 200,000 per year. The presence of microplastics has now been confirmed in human tissues. Laboratory analyses suggest risks such as inflammation, oxidative stress, and endocrine disruption. Scientists agree that exposure is concerning and that long-term studies are essential. The cycle is ingestion and inhalation through bottled water, seafood, air, and packaged foods, absorption and penetration of nanoplastics into the intestines, blood, and lungs, accumulation in the liver, kidneys, lungs, placenta, and the bloodstream. The potential health risks are inflammation, oxidative stress, hormonal disruptions, cardiovascular issues, immune system alterations. Nanoplastics are small enough to cross cell membranes and possibly the blood-brain barrier. We are literally ingesting what we throw away. The leaders of the plastic industry have almost limitless financial power. They hire armies of lobbyists to protect their interests at the expense of humanity, wildlife, and the planet. At 5 UN environment negotiations on plastic pollution, industry lobbyists outnumbered official participants. The result? Total failure. Who is behind the problem? Interest groups blocking progress at plastic pollution conferences, oil producers, plastic and bottle manufacturers, water bottlers, including global giants like Nestlé, Danone, PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, and retailers. Instead of ethical, responsible capitalism, they practice ruthless, profit-driven exploitation, fueling a plastic crisis that threatens us all. We have the power to break this cycle, right now. Carry a reusable water bottle. Inspire those around you to make a change. Hold decision makers accountable. Every bottle matters. Support our mission. Your support is vital for our awareness campaigns and concrete projects. Every contribution helps us to spread the message far and wide, encouraging people to rethink their habits and reduce plastic waste. Install refill stations for reusable bottles, real solutions that cut down single-use plastic consumption. By supporting us, you take a direct stand against plastic pollution and help protect our planet for future generations.